Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to bring you this video because this is truly game-changing for the new guild boss that we've just had introduced into the game. So the Matrix 1 of the Zerbus guild boss, right? This is absolutely insane. You're definitely going to want to stick around to see this particular strategy in action. Now, first of all, absolutely massive shout out to Iman Shaharudin 2673. I probably butchered the name. I'm going to go ahead and showcase a screenshot of their comment here on screen now. They really turned me on to this strategy, which involves a healer as your tank inside of this new guild boss. Now, first of all, this can be used inside Bulwark or inside Spellbane form. It does not matter. This guy is going to enable so many good things to happen. And who is it we're talking about? Well, it is lowly Ezren, the hero that nobody's like really ever talked about in the history of Watcher of Realms, because this guy is just not that good. His reviews are pretty good, but nobody uses him anywhere, and he simply just has better value over replacement options in like every single piece of content that exists ever. But he has one very specific thing that's going to make him insanely good inside the Zerbus guild boss, and this is not clickbait in any way, right? And some of you may already know where this is going, but I'll explain it anyway. So real quick though, thank you all so much to the viewers, because I recently reached 3,000 subscribers. If you want to be part of the channel, go ahead and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to hold your likes until you see the strategy and see if it's worth it, by all means do so. It's in his skills, right? We go to his talents, and this simple little blurb of text is the game changer that free-to-play, low-spend, and average players will need to progress this content. What is it? Well, his talent, damage taken at a time will not exceed 60% of max HP. That's it. That simple. This guy's talent is the game-changing mechanic that we're talking about. You don't have to have him awakened. You don't have to have him fully skilled. Nothing. Simply just have this guy, promote him up, and importantly, make sure that he has the highest HP on your team at the 53,000 that I have currently. Doesn't have to be 53,000. Tune it for your account. Just simply make sure that he has the highest possible HP out of anybody, right? So he does have to be the highest HP, and you can run him on your team. Now, of course, I did change up the team a little bit since my last showcase, which I did earlier today. So we no longer have Malvira in here, and instead Ezren has her gear. So he is going to be our tank. And this is just insane, because if you look at the showcase that I did earlier in the day, really what crushes your runs towards the end is just trying to keep your tank alive, right? So generally, inside this particular guild boss, when the boss is doing his big single target slam onto your tank, it's doing like hundreds of thousands of damage, and you just cannot out-heal that. And unless you have like a Cyrus or some ridiculously OP tank, a lot of people are having problems beating this particular content or fighting this particular content for those reasons. But ladies and gentlemen, Ezren is the answer to it all. So we're going to go ahead and get basically everybody placed here like so. We're going to place Ezren in the bottom facing up. It's cool because he's also going to do a little bit of I can't think, apparently. He's also going to do a little bit of healing, right? So this is huge. I just want to say that real quick, I also have not really min-maxed this particular strategy, so I haven't had a chance to play test this extensively, at least, right? I did run it a couple of times to make sure that it works as intended. The boss wasn't ignoring mechanics, nothing like that. So, you know, that part works perfectly fine, but I haven't had a chance to really fine-tune the high scores on this. We're going to go ahead and just do a quick run-through, though. Like I said, it's pretty late where I'm at. I'm trying to get to bed at a decent time. I have some stuff I got to do tomorrow, so we're just going to run through this. I did switch out Ajax. I made a community post on it on YouTube. I don't know if anyone even uses those things, but if you do, I made a post about it there. Now, you can see the big slam. The big slam to Ezren only took him down to about half HP. Now, I'm not going to lie, right? So when I was running Malvira in this particular content, I had like 120,000 HP on her, over that actually. So I had about 102,000 pre-deployment, and then it would have been well over 120,000 post-deployment. She was getting almost one shot off the start, right? And there was a lot of RNG with it. You can see Ezren has half of her HP, less than half of her HP. He has like 54,000, and he's only at half HP, ladies and gentlemen. The boss cannot one-shot him, and he can heal himself as well as healing the rest of your allies. So, again, the problem with a lot of the tanks in this particular content is that you just cannot out-heal the damage that comes through, especially for the average player who doesn't have obscene awakenings. But Ezren helps to offset that with his own healing, and furthermore, he can also apply his talent effect to allies, right? So he can make it so that other allies cannot have more than 60% of their HP done in a single blow. This guy is absolutely insane. And again, we'll see it. Big smack only takes him down to slightly less than half HP, right? 40% HP specifically. That's where his damage can go to. This is, again, this is literally game-changing. Like, I cannot overstate how insane this is going to be for players that are trying to progress this content, especially the fact that this particular strategy can be applied to either the physical or the magic, right? Because if you have a Cyrus, then you don't need to worry about using Ezren, right? You're good to go. You're cooking. Your account's good. If you don't have a Cyrus and you simply just need a way to survive the magic form, because like me, all of your good DPS are magic damage dealers, this is going to give you that in that you need. And I showcased in the screenshot that I shared that I hit 20k mech fragments with the team composition that I had used before. With this new Ezren tank strategy, I am confident that I'll be able to get more time on the field, which will ultimately allow me to get significantly more mech fragments. So I'm very excited to see how this strategy goes. We do have some stacks on us here, so we're definitely going to want to go ahead and cleanse those off with Eloin right when the next focus strike comes up. So there we go. He's dead, apparently. I didn't cleanse them off quick enough, so unfortunately, we're going to have to go ahead and reset the run. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, just to kind of show you. Now, it's a bit weird and it's a bit janky because the tooltips on this particular fight are a bit weird. From any time I was reading it, the tooltips seem to indicate that the stacks themselves just don't. Oh, I see. I didn't even have Eloin facing the right way. So, by the way, for the setup for this, face Eloin downwards. Don't face her to the left. That's where I messed up. But yeah, I was going to say, so the tooltips make it seem like the... you can place him one of two spots, by the way. You can also place him here if you prefer, which I might actually prefer just so that he can heal the Valara since she's not in Eloin cleansing range now. But either way, I think that should be okay. Yeah, I was going to say, the tooltips are weird. The tooltips make it seem like the stacks don't actually do anything, but yet they clearly do when you're actually playing through the game, so it's odd, right? I think Moonton needs to cook this boss a little bit more. He's not quite where we would expect to see him, I don't think, but then again, it is what it is. There we go. Ezren is now fully healed up and good to go. And another huge part about this too, so when I showcased my other team composition, I'm going to go ahead and move myself back down so you can kind of see Valara kicking butt on the left-hand side. But when I showcased my other team composition, I made note of the fact that you couldn't really pop Narissa to be a cleanser because then she wouldn't be able to do the healing for your tank to survive, which was necessary. With this particular team composition, you can pop her whenever you need to help your team survive. All you need is another healer that can help Ezren, so an Eloin placed in the middle is perfect. If you have, obviously, like, we're just going to go ahead and pop all the ultimates here, why not? Obviously, if you have, like, a Aelin and things like that, she can work as well, but this is absolutely insane. It's so cool to see that they're... honestly, I don't think this was an intentional mechanic. I could be wrong with that, but like they didn't really call out Ezren themselves as like a potential hero that could help you a lot with this content, so I can't imagine it was intended. I think it's just kind of something the community's come up with really on the fly for this, but it's super cool to see older heroes becoming a little bit more relevant as well. So, you know, it's nice, right, to see how the game is progressing. I know the community tends to get up in arms a lot about power creep and stuff like that, as they should, right? Power creep is always a big issue in games like this, but it's nice to see content like this that gives older options a viable way to play. Right now, don't get me wrong, I say that, but you know, A5 Valara is like the best unit possible for this particular content, so the power creep still definitely exists. but it's not as bad as it could be, or it's not as bad as you'd see in a lot of games like this. And there you go. You see we have the Narissa cleanse coming in. Narissa's putting out a little bit of damage as well. Eloin's down. That her ultimate's not up. I mean, that's fine. We'll just go ahead and place the Wood Elf. And now together they can go ahead and heal the Ezren up. Now, it obviously is very, very questionable with him still, especially when you're not popping the ultimates from other people, whether or not he's going to survive, because he's pretty squishy, all things considered, only 50k HP. Getting targeted by the boss for all these strikes is pretty insane. So he's definitely doing a good job, I would say. We'll go ahead and pop like this. Now we have the Relentless Evolution. Went ahead and just decimated those other units. We're going to pop that. Now, if you're interested in the particular team that I'm using, as well as like potential substitutions and stuff like that, definitely go ahead and make sure to look at the original showcase video that I did. We are obviously past the mech fragments that I was able to achieve in the video, and a huge part of that, I think, and I know, is going to be due to our tank selection here. This is crazy. I know I'm saying that a lot. I'm saying it's exciting. I'm saying that it's cool. And if you're just watching this, if you're just casually watching this, if you haven't played through this content yet, you may not understand the grasp of just how huge this is. But this is literally game-changing for, like, everybody. Now, I should have cleansed off the stacks there. Again, I messed it up. So that's completely on me. Nothing to do with Ezren there. So, yeah, we can keep going a little bit here. Ideally, though, we'd want to reset and then just, you know, go ahead and try again, essentially. Now, one thing I want to show you here, so we're going to look at the damage showcase a little bit. So, obviously, like I say, it kind of is the Valara show. Then we have Anora. Then we have Ajax or Ajax coming in, right? I want to show you the world rankings, though, as well, to really show you what people are coming up with for this particular content. So the number one player that we have right now is at 94,000 mech fragments, and that is with both of his attacks used. Now, obviously, the Spellbane got significantly less damage, like 8.8 million on the Ardea versus a 21 million on the Valara is insane. And I mean, it is an A5 Valara, but it is still an A4 Ardea as well. And we're really just seeing a lot of the same team composition. So obviously for the Bulwark phase, you're seeing a ton of Cyrus being used. Like, he's in basically every single top performing team out there. Honestly, scratch that. He is in every single top performing team out there. Like, bar none, he is the tank to go with for this. Draylin is also fantastic as well, though. If you happen to have Draylin, she's probably one of my most wanted units at the moment because she is so incredibly good. Lots of German players making the top list, actually, which is kind of cool to see. But yeah, Cyrus. There's some Gone teams coming in as well, which is quite interesting because I had a lot of trouble getting Gone to survive, but you can see that they're scoring relatively low on all of the keys. So it'd be kind of cool if I'm able to get my key in fairly soon, and then just you know, really see how high up on the rankings I can make it here as well. But this is insane. Make sure to get the word out there. Share this video with folks. I definitely think I deserve that like on the video. Make sure to go ahead and do such. And there's a Discord link down below, so if you guys want to get in on that, that would be fantastic. But that being said, thank you all so much for watching to the end. See you next time.